Hello guys, Jerry speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode number 174. Today read you my going book about Washington D.C. So let's read it now, shall we? So we got my going book about Washington D.C. by Rick Volvin, illustrated by Ed Meyer. Now, before I read this book, I want to say I've been to Washington D.C. once. That's basically it for me. And to be fair, I've been to Arlington, D.C. to go see my family at the NewsHour. And PBS NewsHour has been there with me ever since the mid-70s in the PBS NewsHour. I was born in the mid-90s, and they came out with it. I was watched them since the early 2000s. So it was my childhood dream come true for them. So there you go. Now, without further ado, my little going book about Washington, D.C. Here we go. It was copyrighted 2021, all reserved. Anyway, here we go. So yeah, it's eagle with a dollar bill sign. But anyway. Greetings. I'm Benjamin the Bald Eagle. The Bald Eagle is a proud symbol of the United States of America. Okay? And the resident of our nation's capital, okay? Washington, D.C. D.C. stands for District of Columbia, which makes sense, by the way. Okay. It is the most welcoming place in the country because it's everyone's capital. Come on, I'll show you. Wow. Okay, it makes more sense than wait, Bald Eagle. He's having to do something for over the years of being in the White House or something like that. We'll just see what happens. And by the way, I read the White House before. Next page. Anyway, let's start with some of the most impressive museums in the world. I've been a big fan of National Museum of Natural History, which is good enough. Have you learned about animals, plants, and other natural wonders that you have ever existed throughout Earth's history? I have not. I've seen most of it in its 2013 about Dorothy's Ruby Slippers. And of course, Kermit the Frog. That was basically it for me. Anyway, you have gaze at massive mammals, explore human explorations, even scroll around real butterflies. Wow. In the butterfly pollution, which I've not seen in Washington, D.C. at all. So anyway, that's all the things that happened in history. The panda saw that in the news on back then it was PBS News Weekend at the time. And then on CBS New Weekend News, when Dad watched it, he was like, wow, pandas were in there for the 50th anniversary, and they got a cake on there. So wow, I gotta receive that phrase. Next page. Anyway, nearby is the National Museum of American History, which I saw before, which has collected nearly 2 million historical objects, cultural treasures from our country's past, which I have been before, you know. You can see the Star Spangled Banner, the tattered American flag that flew over Fort McHenry in 1814, inspired our national anthem. Now, here's one thing I saw years ago. Now, at the time, yes, back then, I saw it in Washington, D.C. when I was in the National Museum of American History. Or check out the Ruby Slippers, worn by Dorothy in the classic movie The Wizard of Oz. That was the same thing that I saw in while I was on the vacation, you know. I always like to fly up in the National Air and Space Museum, take all the kinds of expedition marbles. That one I have not seen. I've seen bits and pieces of it. But anyway, for the Pioneer planes that first left the ground, and the spacecraft that left the atmosphere. Anyway, like it's so high, but it's really impressive. Now, it was a great idea to see the National Air and Space Museum. PBS NewsHour should see that at the time frame. That was, which I saw reports on that. But you know, that should be, of course. Next page. Anyway. All welcome to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Anyway. Learn about African American music and sports icons, artists and educators, and the heroes who fought to give every American the rights they deserve. DC is also home of some of the greatest monumentals in the world, each built with the hope that you'll drop by. Some like the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. Exactly. I am inspired by Jim Lehrer and Robert McNeil, who have been part of the NewsHour and WETA. Celebrate the leaders who inspired our nation. Exactly, MLKJ. You just have to do something about it. Next page. Anyway. Okay. The Espresso Lincoln Memorial, which I've seen before, and I saw pictures of it from my trip to Washington, D.C. But anyway, it's dedicated to our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. And I have been seeing this, and it's taken Forrest Gump before. You know, I've been there. It's been amazing. From the top of the steps, visitors can enjoy an amazing view, and read the freshman pool that stretches from the base of the stairs. You can also see the huge Lincoln statue, which is 19 feet tall and weighs 175 tons. Wow, I've seen this before. It was amazing to me to see it. I have seen this when I was in the country, when I was at Washington D.C. country place, you know, and it was amazing. You know, that's me, of course. Not the state, but that's me. It was a whatever that was. Anyway, next page. Anyway, for museums and monuments, that's a lot I've learned. There's no need to stop yet. Head to the boroughs at Inventories and Print, okay? To see how paper money is made. Wow, okay. Billions of dollars are printed every year. Wow, okay. Makes more sense. There can be more money. Then this handsome fella looks like just like me. Well, it makes sense. Anyway, how much money is it going to cost me to save up for me? Because I'm not the president, I'm just more an entertainer. Anyway, that was exciting. I needed a moment to relax in the metro. Wow, okay. A swan whale system that can take you anywhere you can want to go in DC and beyond. Now, it can take you anywhere in DC. First of all, I went to Arlington, you know, to be at the NewsHour headquarters, you know, at WTA. You know, it was fantastic. And secondly, DC is amazing when I was a kid, and I was not a kid, but I was only 18 when this happened. It was happening, you know. And no, I did not meet Gwen Eiffel. She passed 3 years after I came to Washington, D.C. And it was a sad day. And then years later, Jim Lehrer passed away. So he signed the autograph in the NewsHour and for high school graduation, and so is Robin. So there you go. Anyway, maybe I'll ride the train sometime place where I can take a walk and reconnect with, say, I don't know. Sorry about that. Anyway, Bald Eagle, you just have to do something about it, but we'll see what happens. Next page. Anyway. Pandas. Yeah, I talked about this before. No tour of DC is complete without a wrap through the natural zoo. Exactly. You gotta do something about it. And a visit with my favorite black and white furry friends, pandas. And you have to do so. I talked about this before. They celebrated 50th year this year. National Zoo was founded way back in 1899. Wow, 89. Wow, okay. Spread across more than 160 acres. It's home to around 2,700 animals from nearly 400 different species. Wow. Makes sense to anybody. You have to do something about these animals. So, yeah. Next page. Anyway. Let's stay outdoors and head over the Tidal Basin. Wow. Where thousands of people come each spring to see one of the largest displays of cherry blossoms in the world. Wow, okay. Many visitors also take in the view of the Dome Jefferson Memorial from a powerboat first way I prepared to fly. You know, Bald Eagle, you just have to do something about it. You know, just have to be doing something about this whole boat so you can Jimmy down the stream or something. That's me, of course. Next page. Anyway. Next, let's take a stroll around the corner to National Mall. Now, very exciting stuff right there. Don't worry, I'm not talking about the bunch of stores inside a shopping mall. Exactly. Our mall is a huge park where the long grassy field that goes right through the middle of the DC. It's easy to find. Just look at the Washington Memorial. Okay? Good enough. The mall is a great place to relax and play. Or to hold a special event. Exactly. Like an annual Blossom Kite Festival. I have to agree with the kites, They had to play a kite or something. If you have to hold up in a windy day or something. That's me, of course. You just have to do something to fly a kite or something, That's me, of course. And it's just easy. So there you go. Next page. Anyway, that's when that was fun. But it's time to go back to business. And the town knows business, Washington D.C., is the center of the nation's government. The elected presidents from around the countries all meet in the United States Capitol to debate and vote on our laws. No wonder the building has more than 500 rooms. Exactly. And I have to agree with that, White House has been there for many years. Understand that interpreting our laws is a job of the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, at the time, yes, news always been there for many years. And they talk about Justice Stephen Breyer, many years ago, And then all of a sudden, he retired now. I just want to say that for the least, And then the other one, one example is Justice I can't pronounce the last name. Sandra O'Connor. That's it. Okay. That one is from the McNeil Report in 1981. I have to say it was a great example someone referred to. But anyway, the highest court in the land. Okay. While court in the session, you can even watch as a night justice hear a case. Exactly. You have to do something about it. But that makes more difference in any way. Next page. Anyway, we're almost done. Anyway. Meanwhile, the President of the United States is also working exactly across town in the White House, as I mentioned before. Anyway, every United States President except one has lived in the Justice Mansion. Yep. Can you guess which one? I'll give you a hint. He has the same name as the city we've been exploring. I have no idea, Bald Eagle. When the workday is done, there's nothing more enjoyable than the local bird than the root. Root, okay. For the home team at Nationals Park. Let's go Nats. Watch this, David. You had to see the baseball team. But anyway, that is good enough. Here comes the last page of the book. What a day. I hope you enjoyed the bird's eye view. And remember, Washington, D.C. is your nation's capital, which makes everyone hometown. Exactly. My hometown, as a matter of fact. Maybe one day you bring your own kids to see the historic place. Which, by the way, I've been there before, and I gotta bring my own kids to Washington, D.C. You just have to do something about this whole Washington, D.C. place. You should at least do something about this. And plus, I gotta check them the news outlet, of course, which I've been to before. But that's just me, of course. So that was a little golden book about Washington, D.C. What do you think about this book? It was amazing. So far, this book went me obsessed. That was Bedtime Stories, episode number, let's just say, 174. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one. It's going to be Lunchtime Roaches Club episode number 429. And then we'll at least do, let's say, 4 more videos. And then we're going to do another bedtime story episode. Now, excuse me. I gotta get ready for bed, and of course, be prepared for more videos for tomorrow. Till next time, Sue Johnson, Poppy, so baby. We get more videos next episode. Till Wednesday out. See ya.